Good morning, boys and girls. So we are on 8.3, and today we're really going to focus on how we can connect fractions to division. We've been dividing fractions and whole number this whole chapter, and this is actually our last lesson before your mid-chapter quiz, which will be on Monday. It is actually going to be on Nearpod. It's going to be something new that we're trying. I'm going to post a video above the mid-chapter to explain and walk you through the mid-chapter quiz, and I highly recommend watching it because it'll show you how to do every single question on there. And then there will be a link to get to Nearpod. And it's just like a little mini presentation that it'll walk you through, and you answer questions as you walk through the presentation. I think it's a total of like 5 questions at the end. And then you take a poll telling me how you feel about where you are. And so you will do that on Monday. But before you take your mid-chapter, we're going to have one more day of instruction. And that is where we're going to start. So we're going to have 2 word problems, and we are going to draw out the diagrams, and then we're going to solve it using division as well. And so let's jump right in and let's solve these problems. There are 3 students in a craft class and 2 sheets of construction paper. If they share the paper equally, what part of the paper will each student get? So we need to know if 3 students have to share 2 sheets of construction paper, how much will each student get? So I've already drawn our 2 sheets of construction paper on the board. And if we're trying to split construction paper between 3 students, we're going to want each student to get a part of the construction paper, right? So let me split this into 3 sections. And so if I split one piece into 3 sections, what fraction of this whole paper is one student going to get? They're only going to get one piece, right? And our denominator, if you remember the definition of a fraction, is the whole, and our numerator is the part. So they're going to get one part, right? They're only going to get one piece out of 1, 2, 3 pieces. So they're going to get 1/3. They get one piece out of the 3 total pieces. So each student will get 1/3. And I'm just going to label my pieces A, B, and C so I can know that student A gets 1/3, student B gets 1/3, and student C gets 1/3. But how many pieces of construction paper does it say that we have? It says we have 2 pieces of construction paper, right? So I have to do the same thing with this piece of construction paper right here. And again, it is split into thirds, and each student will get 1/3. Student A, student B, and student C. So when you think about this, you think, each student gets 1/3 piece of paper, right? Well, not yet, because each student gets 1/3 per sheet. And how many sheets are there? 2. So you could either say 1/3 plus 1/3 to figure out how many pieces one student will get, or you could say 2 times 1/3 because there are 2 pieces of 1/3, right? So 2 times 1/3 is 2/3, just like 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. So no matter how you think about it, you can get the same answer. If you were trying to solve this without writing out the pictures and you just wanted to solve it by dividing, you would say, how many whole pieces of paper did you start out with? 2. And then you split it, right? So we know that this is a division problem between how many students? 3. So we had 2 divided by 3, which you can just write as 2/3. That's how you can write 2 divided by 3. You could also, if you wrote it out to solve it, if you couldn't just say 2 divided by 3, we know how to write remainders as a fraction. 3 does not go into 2, and so you would have to subtract 0, and 2 would be your numerator, and 3 would be your denominator for how you write it as a fraction. So whether you have to work it out by drawing out a diagram or by drawing the division problem, whatever works best for you is how I want you to do it. We're going to do one more word problem together, and we're still going to do both ways. This time, we will actually do the division before we do the diagram. Alrighty. 6 friends share 4 small pizzas equally. What is each friend's share of the pizza? So we know that we have 6 friends and we have 4 small pizzas, and we need to split those pizzas between the 6 friends. So first thing we're going to do is make our division problem, and then we'll go back and solve it with a diagram. All right, so what is our whole? What do we have to start with? Well, we have pizzas, right? Our pizzas are what are being split. So we're going to start with 4 whole pizzas. And we are splitting or dividing them into what? 6 pieces, or among 6 friends. And that is going to give us our answer, which is just 4 over 6, which you can actually reduce. If you remember when we were multiplying fractions, we worked on reducing, because what number goes into both 4 and 6? 2. So I could divide the top by 2, and I could divide the bottom by 2. And so I would get 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I would get 2/3 as the share of pizza each friend would get. If you need to draw the diagram, we have our 4 pizzas drawn, and we're sharing them in between 6 friends. So the easiest thing to do is take each pizza and cut it into 6 pieces, right? So if we cut each pizza into 6 pieces, and say each friend gets 1 piece from each pizza, right? So I'll change colors and we'll go to pink, and we'll say, all right, this pink friend gets 1 piece from each pizza. And then we could have blue. And you could go on with these different colors the whole way, right? I'm just going to do a different little shape on here. That way we can see. We'll keep one of them that same color blue. We'll do a little green line. And if you see that each shape or each color, depending on how you did it, represents 1 friend, you can count how many pieces does each friend get. Well, pink gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Blue gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Green gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Each friend gets 4 pieces of pizza, right? 4 pieces. But we have to say, well, how many did we have in that whole, right? Well, 1 pizza was cut into 6 pieces. So they actually got 4 pieces out of 6. And I know that seems kind of weird, because you're like, well, why don't I count all the pieces? Well, if you think about how much did you split the 1 pizza into, you split it into 6 pieces because you split it among 6 friends. That tells you that you have 4 out of 6 pieces. And a good way to think about it is if you write out that division problem first. It helps you know what your numerator and denominator is supposed to be. And then you know that 4, 6, just like we did in the first problem, could be reduced to 2/3. Remember, you will have 2 problems on Wiser, and then your mid-chapter quiz is on Monday. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know. I would love to help you. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.